Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and we're working today on Roxy's Weekly Challenge, week 34. No, we're not making these. I just thought I'd show you. These are last week's challenge, all finished. So I thought I'd just quickly show you those because I have now backed them all. Oh, look at that! Look at that sewing. I hadn't even noticed that. It's really gone off kilter, that one, hasn't it? But it looks quite straight on the front, and I've sewn all around. I haven't sewn all around all of them. Some of them I didn't, and I'll tell you why as we go along. This one I've obviously gone really off course, but I am going to put something down the middle of this. You won't be able to really see that on camera, but there are bits of glue. It doesn't look very good, so I might just do something. I mean, I could do something like this down the middle, just to cover up all my horrible gluey blobs, but because that's going to probably go in my Moroccan journal, so I should be putting that aside. Then there was this one. Just take my little ticket thing off, which I've sewn around, but I didn't sew down the side where the fabric is because I thought it might spoil it, which I did do on one of the others, and that was already backed, so that wasn't very much I had to do on that one. This one I've just backed with some. Most of it I've been using paper from a book that I bought recently, which had lots of nice papers like this on the first few pages. So I've used those. Looks again like my sewing has gone off, because I was doing it down the front here and I couldn't really tell where the edge of the paper was. So I've gone off a little bit, but I don't really mind. And because this was dark, I did carry on the sewing down the edge of the fabric, but mostly I did the zigzag around the rest because I like that. On these big cards I like a zigzag. I think it looks nice. This one again I did not sew down because I thought it would spoil the look, but the rest of it I've zigzagged round, and I like that, how that's finished that off. I really like this one. Who knew? This was the one I did that made me think I'm not going to do that again, because I did sew down this and I regretted it afterwards because it doesn't really enhance it at all. I wish I'd stopped here like I've done on others that I did after this one, because I really not so keen on how that looks, but otherwise it looks fine. It's got the backing on it and everything. It's usable. I'm just not so happy with that. I might end up putting something down that just so you can't see the sewing. And this one was the first one I sewed, and I quite like the sewing down there. I think that looked okay, so I was okay with that one. So that one, this is probably one of my favourites. I love this one, and on the back as well. So yeah, I do love that. So that's those all finished. I'm very pleased with those. I should put those in my little box of Roxy Creations ephemera, which I will get to use at some point. So I'm wiping glitter still. Alyssa was here on Friday for the day. We had a lovely day, but she went for the glitter big time. And I think I'll be wiping glitter off forevermore. Oh, glitter everywhere. Anyway, this week's challenge is to make diagonal wraparound tab pockets from envelopes. So I'm only going to use a couple. Rachel cut lots, but she actually only completed 2 whole ones, so 4 halves. So I'm only going to start with that. I didn't have any envelopes that have been already used, because we always now, if we get this shape of envelope, we always get them with a window in. So I've been trying to collect those, but I didn't have any that weren't new, that weren't new like this. That's a bit glued up there. I didn't have any that had been used, so I've had to take a couple of new ones. I've got plenty of those, and glue it down and then cut the edge as though it had been used. So then these have to be cut on the diagonal. Well, Rachel tore hers. I don't trust myself to tear mine. So instead of messing about doing that, I'm going to use my trimmer, because I think it's much safer to do that from my point of view. So I've just got to figure out how they go in. So they've got to so you've got to have a decent sized piece of the shorter edge. So I think something like that, I think, will be fine. So I've got those two. I'll do the same on this one. It's not an exact cut really. Yeah, something like that. So they look diagonal. They're not probably going to be the same, but that doesn't matter really. And then she did tear off the corners, just squared them off. So I will do that, she says. So we've got a squared off top. Not very straight. Never mind. If she wanted them straight, she wouldn't have torn them, would she? Okay, get rid of those bits. So all we have to do now is decorate them. So these are going to go in, so that's going to slide in. So we've got a page. I think what she was doing, let me just see, this has got a bit, because when I've been trying to glue them together and then open them again, they haven't entirely, some of the glue seems to have reached right into the corners. So you can put your page in like that. I think the idea she's got is to have a little bit sticking out to make a little tab, so you can, so it just kind of something to get hold of to flip the page over. So we're going to possibly, but we don't, it doesn't affect the decorating. I think it's more affected when you put it into the journal. The idea, one idea I did have, and in order to make it clear there was a tab, you could just sew down here, and then it would only go in that far into the journal, and you didn't have to remember to leave that bit showing. But you'd only be able to, you know, give yourself a little bit, otherwise it will stick out too far in the journal. So that was that one. What does this one do? This one goes in this way. That goes in the other way. And so you've got a longer tab. And then the others are the same. So let's just start to decorate them. They're really rather a fun thing, and if you enjoy collaging and things, which I do, these should be really fun to do. Although I'm not going to collage each one. I think we can use some bigger pieces to cover the whole thing, to keep things moving along. And I did think I might use, to start with, this pad I got from ages ago when I did a Temu order, and it's got all these really pretty designs in. I used quite a few of these lady ones in my Lace and Ladies journal. I think she's gorgeous, so I thought I might do her. And then it wouldn't really need much extra decorating, because I think it would, she could, oh no, she's got to go on like that really, hasn't she? So I'd need something over here, otherwise she won't, she'll just have her head cut off, basically, if I put her on like that. That won't work, will it? What I could do, I might just tear it along here and use it on two different ones. Because I think that it's all really pretty, this. And I might put that there with something else. And she could go onto one. Oh, she could go on the other side, couldn't she? She could go on here, like that. Okay, well, we'll come back to her. Let's start with this side for now, as we've started there. And find something to go with that piece. I've got a whole load of scraps here. So just got to find something that goes with that piece now. It could be interesting. Unless I did this piece, it's really pretty, just this pink spot, because it goes quite well with the pink roses, and then I could add something else as a piece of decoration afterwards. How about that? Well, I think so. So that. Not sure I folded that very straight, but never mind. I'll try and straighten it in the tearing. Am I on camera? Probably not. There we go. Doesn't really matter too much how straight it is because a lot of it would be folded over anyway. So let's just make sure. I'm not going to worry about that white bit because it's going to be covered up. Right, so I think I'll just go to the edge. Actually, no, I wanted to go to where the diagonal starts. So fold that across there. Is that right? Okay. And we'll fold it. And we have to go across there like that a bit, I think. That's it. And then I might just mark the bottom bit with a pencil. See if it fits once I've torn it all. Was that way? No, it's that way, wasn't it? Yep. Oh, I've gone a bit too high. So I'm going to glue that down. I'll trim off this odd bit at the bottom. So to keep messing about, let's glue this piece on. Oh, I am going to have to do a little bit of inking. I don't always on Rachel's challenges, but on this sort of thing, when it looks very vintage, I just can't help myself. I need to do that just to finish it and give it a finishing look, except I've lost my dauber now. I know why I didn't have my dauber, because this isn't vintage photo. This is one I was using for something I was doing yesterday, yesterday I was working on my grandson's journal, and I was using this one for a change. It's brushed corduroy. I've had it for a long time, and I never think to use it, so I might use it for this as well. So I've just realised my vintage photo's over there on the other table, so I'm going to use this. Don't see why not. It's just a different shade of brown. Okay. I have to show you this glue. This is the one Alyssa was here to say on Friday. Can you see the state of this glue? She was really into the glitter on Friday, as I mentioned, and a lot of it is on my glue stick. So I'm going to keep this for when she comes next time, which is, I think, so I'm in the middle of bank holiday weekend at the moment. I've got 3 days, very quiet days, so filming days in my mind, craft room days. But then we've got her again for the day on Tuesday. It'll be her last week of school holidays, so it'll be our last time to have her for the whole day. We've been having such a lovely time with her. She had a really good day on Friday. She wasn't spending it all with me because I was out for out sort of lunchtime for a couple of hours because a friend of mine was having an afternoon tea to raise money for Isabel Hospice. So she had a whole load of her pals over for lunch. I mean, there must have been 20 or 25 at least. Sorry, Not lining it up with the bottom, supposed to be lining it up with the edge of the pocket. I have to concentrate, because if I lose track of what I'm doing when I'm chatting. Yeah, so I went off to my friend Linda's, had a lovely afternoon tea. She really, really spoilt us. And here we go, I'm already getting covered in ink and getting it on the paper. So Lissy and Grandad had a few hours together, and they went off to our Rest Park, which is a English heritage manor house and gardens, and he volunteers there occasionally. Hasn't done for a little while because they haven't really needed him, but he'd been wanting to take her there. They've got a very good good children's playground. They have a cafe and some really fabulous grounds to run around in. She had a wonderful time. He was a bit uncertain how she'd take, whether she'd enjoy it, because you can never tell with Lissy whether she'll decide to enjoy a place or not, or anything you decide you want to do with her. So, but she really did. She had a great time, which was lovely. So I was so pleased for him, because, in fact, they went before I left, and they weren't back when I got back, and I was out for 3 hours or so. Yeah, they were having such a good time. We had trouble getting her out of there, which is great. We love it when she enjoys herself. We all have the best time, and she really was in the mood to have fun. So that was really nice for him. She was full of it when I saw her, telling me all about it. Right, I'm wondering whether I can wrap this little bit around here. Yeah, I think so. And where's my scissors? I just nip that bit off in that corner where I didn't tear it very well. That's it. I think I might just need to trim at the bottom. Alright, so that's that side done, and then I'll come back and put something here to finish it off. And let's do this side. So we know we want this lovely lady on there, don't we? Let's see if we can find a piece to go with her, and I'm just wondering about maybe a bit of book page. I've also got a bit of yellow spot. Is that too much yellow? Well, it is, obviously. That's a huge piece of yellow. Maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe if I do it there, and then we can see. It might look. It is a little bit heavy on the yellow, isn't it? She's got a kind of yellowy thing up there. I thought it might. It's a bit too leery, I think. I need something a little softer than that, if I had such a thing. Oh, this is quite pretty. I don't know if that's going to work. Sort of an embroidery type of effect. Again, I think I'll do it. Let's just get rid of that edge. What's that going to be? No, I think it's just too busy. I think maybe a bit of book page would work better. We've got the right size piece. That's a nice piece. Well, I think that would do nicely. Right, we'll tear this piece off here. straighten this edge too. Let's see, are we going to have a little gap? I think we might. Yes, we've got a little gap. Have to find something for the little gap. That look. No, I'm not keen on that piece. Got another piece of script work there. I think that bit of script would probably go okay, because it looks like a bit of a continuation of the script around her. Let's just try and keep a bit of clear space around me. Okay. So, yep, I'll just do that. That and that. Okay. I shall glue this on first, I think. Let's just tear along there. I think I use this little ruler. It's not so unwieldy as the big one for these smaller bits. That goes there. And then I just take that off, can't I? Okay. Okay, that's that one done. Okay, let's do another one. I'm facing the other way, I think. Right, so I've also got some kind of 50s vintagey papers here that I thought I might do a 50s one. The 50s journal, I'm working towards it, but it probably won't, I won't actually be able to start it till after the new year. Because Christmas comes upon us so quickly, and the last couple of months of the year are probably going to be taken up with that. So I want to get the journals finished that I'm working on, but not start anything new after that, I don't think. We'll see. See how things go. I don't know. So I've got this really, there's quite a few here. They're by an Etsy shop called Print Fun Factory, and you will see more of them probably as I go along if I'm making more things, but I thought I would cover this one with this paper and then put something on. I've got we'll decorate it with some 50s ephemera of things. So I'm going to keep it simple and mark it here. Let's tear it across there. This is quite easy to tear straight because it's got a pattern in nice straight lines for me, helping me to line up my ruler. And then I'll do the same there. Oop. Good if the ruler didn't keep slipping. With that little tool, bring it down a bit. Okay, I shall fold it around the pocket. There. Is that going to fit? Yeah, close enough. Can always trim off the extra bits. Okay. I think I need a bigger piece of blue page. Oh, I think we're going to use a bit of this. And I managed to tear a bit of the paper off there, so that's going to have to be covered up. Oop. Sometimes collaging is easier because you don't have to do great big pieces. You can just do little bits at a time. And I need to rub off my little pencil mark from down here. So just trim that a little bit. And we'll come back and add a bit of decoration to that. Oh, looks like it needs a trim down the side. Alright, so turn that over. We'll do a different one on the other side, I think. Let's pour these in. Let's just pop my scraps back in. I'm rather liking the look of this one. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, there's that one. That's quite fun, isn't it? Oh, I like that. So I guess I'm going to do the same thing again. Going to trim this edge off. It's easier than trying to get it to glue in again. That's it. All right. Right, so I'm going to have a bit of fun decorating these in a bit. But I think just about got time for one more, I think, I hope. So let's do another one. Yeah. I'm not leaving that like that. I've got to straighten it. It just looks ridiculous. In fact, that's a bit too wide here. I'm going to recut it a little bit. I think like that. Yeah, I prefer that. Right, let's see what we can do now with going back into our scraps box. Let's put this out of harm's way up here. Don't really have any particular journal in mind for any of these. I just thought I'd see if I could find some paper that takes my fancy. These are really pretty together. And that one. What else have I got? Oh, I like that. That's pretty. Not that. And that I like. Ooh. Right, let's see whether any of these would work. together. This is really pretty, I love that. Has it got to go that way? I suppose it should. I think this is a Roxy Creations paper. Put that there. Got this little silly little gap again, haven't we? Don't want to mess about with that, really. It's not wide. Not really wide enough. About this piece. Nope. Don't know how these would go together. Too much. These pieces are not quite wide enough to cover the whole of that bit. Oh, maybe that will. Do we like that? I think we might. That side. Got choices here. Oh, there is a really little tiny bit showing there. Grr. Oh, that's more like it. Found that piece. I think it's from the same... No, not from the same kit. I think these are all Shabby Dabby Doodah papers. I'm sure you're not at all surprised about that. It's not double-sided, is it? No. So I've got... Oh, how about that? No, I'm going to lose it, aren't we? What can we... No, don't worry about that. This I really want here, so we're going to have to... That'll have to go there. Or there. Let's see. That's what Rachel said. If you want to see how it will look, fold it first. Then you'll see if you like it. Not that we're going to need all of that, but just to get an idea. Well, I think we can do something with that. Yeah. So let's get the ruler out. Just tear a piece down. Make sure it's wide enough. There. This one going to go. I don't think we need it quite as long as that, but I'll take it about there, I think. Right, and then this piece. I want to give it a nice fancy edge, rough edge, whatever you call it. Use my tear ruler, this one. Does it make it look more interesting on the top? Let's tear that. Nope, tearing is not my friend today, so I shall just cut it. Should have done that in the first place. I've decided it's easier to make it too big and then cut it afterwards rather than trying to fold it in the right spot. So it's not gone up to the edge there, but I'm hoping I can disguise that with a good old bit of ink. So I think this what's it called, brushed corduroy, has a slightly more orangey yellowy tone to it perhaps than the vintage photo, which is possibly why it's not as popular. I'm kind of getting that now. Not sure I'm so keen on the colour, but I could always go over it. Trouble with, you have to put on a lot of this glue to make it really stick, but of course the trouble is it makes it really wet and everything curls up. So yeah, not my favorite. I mean, look at the state of this one. It's ridiculous. I don't know if I can rescue that. I'll have to try and flatten it somehow. Right, let's do this one. Right, I'm sorry my camera's just turned itself off. I think the battery died, but I'm not entirely sure at what point the camera turned off. So hopefully you saw me finish doing this one. I mean, I didn't do much, I just stuck that on, but I used art glitter glue instead of the glue stick because it works a lot better, was much easier, and just cut it afterwards rather than folding it and cutting it. So you may have seen me do that, but just in case you didn't, that's what I did. And it just needs a bit of extra decoration. So that one was much easier to finish. So now we're going to work on this one, which is my 50s one. And I've got these. I've had a book I bought right at the beginning when I first started jug journaling, and I've never used them. I bought this book of advertising posters, I think you are. They're old advertising posters from all sorts of eras, I think. I think they're probably mostly from the 50s, but some of them look very 50s. And this was one of them that I pulled out because I kind of think the colours go quite well on here anyway. But there's a whole bunch of them. This one is very Art Deco look. And they are lovely. And I've been meaning to use them. I keep thinking I'd love to use them. Look at her. She's really sweet. I love her. And there's all sorts. Look, there's lovely, another little 50s looking girl. Cadbury's Cocoa, absolutely pure. Yeah, not full of sugar at all. She might go quite nicely on there too. So there's a whole bunch of these, and I just cut a few. I mean, I only cut a few out because I've got pages and pages. But I really should pull them out a bit more because they're so lovely. The artwork on them is really good. I think what's put me off is obviously the advertising part of it, having the names of the various beverages all over them. But you can always cover them up, but I'm not sure if that's something we shouldn't maybe embrace for the era. Certainly from from this era, from the 50s. These might work quite well. So let's have a look at those. Doing one of those on one side anyway. I think this might be the one I'll concentrate on because the other two don't need a lot. And this one does need a lot. So, I mean, she would go rather nicely on there because her colours very much pick up the pink. And then we could put a bit of nice book page behind her. Let's something like that. I might just trim her little corners just to not with those. Something like that. And I don't know what I've got. About some. Oh, I've just spotted a little a Tracy Fox label. It says "Big Girl." We put "Big Girl" on there. She's been a big girl because she's carrying cup and saucer. Oh yeah, got to do that, haven't I? That's quite sweet. Like that. Okay. Okay, that's rather nice on there. I'm gonna, yeah, I still feel I need something else. I pulled out a few things that I thought might work. 2 and 6. Got this butterfly that maybe could go up here, fill up this space a little bit. Well, I don't really like it up there. Now I've done it. No, maybe on there. So I've got this flower, or a couple of maybe just one flower would be enough, just to kind of make it a bit more interesting. Okay, I like the butterfly, so I'm going to put him on there. That way, that way. These are just a whole load of ephemera that I've gathered from Tina's various kits. I call them all Tina's Tinies because they're all very small pieces of ephemera, but they're just handy for just filling in these kind of small pieces of ephemera, just to give them a bit of decoration. Oops. So finally, all my fussy cutting is bearing fruit, and I'm able to use some of these things. That's so much fun. I really like that now. Okay, let's do one on this side. And I don't think we'll need these at the moment. A whole different idea for this side. All the same theme. I've got some lovely ladies. You've seen these ladies. I want to put one of these on here, I think. Got to find one that'll work on here. Ooh, she's quite striking. I like her. Anybody else? It's got to be a nice contrast in colour. And also big enough to really take the stand out against the background. That's what I'm trying to say. No, they're too green. What about her? No, she's colour's not right. I think because I've chosen this background, I need this colour. It works really well, so I think that's the one I'm going to go for. Right, if I put her there, it covers up a little bit where the paper came off when I was gluing it on the glue page. So let's get a clean glue page, glue her down. There. Now just leaving this up because I might want to tuck something behind. Where am I? Got some labels, some Rachel labels somewhere. Where have I put them? I was working on a book specifically. Is that it? Yes. For some Rachel labels. Got those. Too big. No. Nope, disappears. Not these then. I've got some other labels I might like to use. Let's see what I've got in one of these. No, doesn't go. Oh, I like that. Yeah, this is a G. Kerr label. And weirdly, I feel like it needs to be on something. Bit of, yeah, bit of cheesecloth, I think. Take that off, it's a bit thick, that edge. Okay. This is not quite going how I expected. Maybe this isn't on label paper, maybe I'm struggling for no reason. Right, I'm going to glue this onto the cheesecloth and then tuck it under her dress. Hope it works. Put lots of glue there, and that glue should hold through the cheesecloth, I think. Like that. Oops. Let's just put a bit of extra glue underneath. And on the other side. So, I really like that. I don't know, it looks different. Just says happiness is handmade, and I'm sure that's a I'm sure that's a saying from the 50s. I think it could be anyway, because they did a lot of handmade stuff. They did a lot of their own sewing. I know my mum did. Made all our own clothes, and I'm sure many of your mums did too in the 50s. Not that I was actually around in much of the 50s. I was more a child of the 60s. But I did arrive at the end of the 50s. And my mum was doing lots of her own sewing, and so was my nan. So I think that was appropriate. So there we are. I think that's all I'm going to get done today. I've gone way over the time as usual. So this one needs finishing. This one doesn't need an awful lot. This one needs something. So yeah, I haven't really finished them. It seems to take a long time to do these, but I had a lot of fun doing this one and this side. Totally different on both sides, but very 50s both of them, I think. Yeah, I'm going to use some more of these little advertising pictures. I think they're really sweet. Anyway, so that's it. That's my video for today. Hopefully there isn't too big a gap in the middle where I've somehow lost a bit. But there's plenty. I'm sure there's such a long video. I'm sure there's plenty in there for you to watch. So thank you very much for joining me. Have a good weekend yourselves. Of course, it won't be the weekend when you see this, so that makes no sense. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.